What's up, Badgers fans? Jake and Tyler from Let's Go Fanatics. We have a handful of plays from the Badgers' wins over Purdue this weekend, and then their loss to Illinois. We're just going to run through a bunch of these plays real quick, and then today on today's show, we're going to break these games down in full. So we're going to start with the Purdue game, and
look at the ball.
AJ Storr was cooking.
So I'm going to get into some stuff later today, but I thought, in the skip pass is the most dangerous pass in college basketball lately. But I'm going to get into something later today about the ball movement because you could tell that everybody was feeling it because everybody was touching it. And this is the Badgers offense that we expected coming into the year, and it was beautiful. Yeah. Look at that. Even on the bottom, it shows it. 9 field goals on 7 assists. They ended up, obviously, with 10 on 8 assists. I mean, that ball was hopping. It was hot. They were playing hot potato with that thing.
Yeah. This was just nasty. That's so tough, dude. Yeah. AJ Storr was nasty.
Yeah.
All weekend. Go ahead. This is Carter Gilmore, and he's going to be one of my points of discussion today. But Carter Gilmore deserves credit for how he played over the weekend. And this is a ball getting entered to Zach Edey. And Carter Gilmore, as soon as he sees this ball go down low, he's going to double in this situation. But as soon as he sees that ball low, he goes from playing help defense to being on the floor.
Yep. So want to talk about Carter Gilmore. First of all, the guy is always hustle, right? You never have to question the guy's heart because he's always going to give you everything that he's got. And that's one thing that I'll always appreciate about him. Shout out to Nolan Winter as well. That guy was fighting his ass off against Zach Edey. The refs almost made it impossible to guard him, to be honest. And I understand that you have to give him a little bit of whistle because you can't just let guys beat him up just because he's big. And I get that. Right. I do. I understand that completely. Right. But the fact of where it was – the point it was getting to was getting kind of laughable, right?
Yeah.
But to the point at hand here, Carter Gilmore, they don't win this game without him. I'm not going to say I don't know. They straight up don't. They do not win this game without Carter Gilmore. So you hit a big-time three.
Yep. Well, we're going to get there. We're going to get there.
It was insane.
Because there's more Carter Gilmore. First to the floor again. And they get a timeout out of this one. Look at him. He knew. And then here it is, like you just said.
If they're going to leave you open, you shoot that thing.
Exactly. Because this is going to come into another factor of another play.
Come on, man. Nylon.
Now, Max Klesmit, again, first to the floor. I'm going to talk about hustle during today's recap of this game. Max Klesmit, first to the floor.
Oh, now, man, this game.
Dude, Chucky Hepburn, too, another guy who was cooking all weekend. This is disgusting.
Oh.
Bro.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm going to have some context on Chucky too, man. Chucky and Storr together, I'm going to give you a little sneak peek. They were taking what the defense was giving them, and the defense was regretting it.
That's such a tough shot. And now here, okay. Now we just talked about the 3 that Carter Gilmore made.
Mm-hmm.
And now Zach Edey has 2 feet outside the paint.
Yep.
Instead of 2 feet inside the restricted circle.
So now what does that do? Oh, runway. Yep. It's just, this is what we talk about. And here's another sport to sport comparison. My girlfriend always talks about, why do they run the ball when they only get 1 yard? Set up a play later in the fourth quarter, babe. And guess what? That 3-pointer set that play up in the fourth quarter.
It made Zach Edey take 2 or 3 steps away from the rim.
Exactly.
And AJ Storr got within those 2 or 3 steps.
It's chess, not checkers, people.
Yep. More Chucky Hepburn.
Look at this. Nah, you're not guarding me.
Dude.
You're not guarding me.
Now, okay. Chucky Hepburn just made that layup, right? Purdue took a timeout. Purdue's up by a point here. Chucky is a dog for this whole possession.
Bro. I was yelling at TV. I was like, get him, Chuck. Get him, Chuck. Clamp his ass. Bro, he don't want none of this. Pass the ball, bum.
13,
I was yelling at my TV.
14, 15, 16. You're talking 17 seconds of basically chest to shoulder one-on-one defense.
Bro. He locked him up. That man was in shackles, dude. There's a reason he pushed off like that.
That's the only thing he could do.
He was
everywhere
pissed.
he went. Chucky was in his pocket.
They couldn't even set up the play for Edey. They kept running the same play for Edey where they were forcing the help to the middle or they were leaving the jumper open. And Chucky was like, nah, you ain't getting to that. I promise you that. And he shut everything down.
We're going to recap this game a little more in full on today's show. We're going to get into some of the plays from the Illinois game next. So these are some of the plays that stood out to Illinois in the Illinois game. Now, the Badgers didn't win this game, but let's just take a step back to acknowledge the fact that the Badgers scored 87 points. So this is Kamari McGee, another guy who, like we just talked about with Carter Gilmore, is a dog for this. So he scores, sprints all the way back on defense to recover, and now watch what he's going to do on this play. First to the floor. And it ends in a 3 for AJ Storr. Wow. That's off the back of the hustle from Kamari McGee. Now this is very divisive. We have similar thoughts.
Yeah.
But I saw people complaining about it and being like, oh, hey, we're doing this. We're not doing that. Guys are out here throwing off the backboard alley-oops. Listen, the fact that Storr, A, has the nuts to try this, bro, and B, is feeding so much confidence of how well he's played all weekend, I love it that he tried this.
Can you imagine if he completed that, bro?
I would have lost it. I would have absolutely lost it.
I don't know if I would have had any marbles left if he would have pulled that off, dude. Bro. In traffic? Is he serious? Who does he think he is?
Tracy McGrady?
This man literally thinks there's legit trampolines on the court.
I mean, if that ball doesn't hit the rim,
he's doing it.
Maybe. And number 10 kind of undercut him a little bit, which is a little shysty. But the basketball gods are going to reward the Badgers here because Carter Gilmore comes down with it. And number 10 ends up getting a foul anyways, and Carter Gilmore gets an and one out of it.
When that fell, I was like, oh, good God.
That was the basketball gods. Now, I just have a little segment here of Chucky Hepburn just cooking in the second half. It's 3 straight plays by Chucky Hepburn.
Little.
Uses the rim to protect a shot on the first one. Goes full Bobby Portis on the second one.
Little.
And then gets an and one.
Bro, okay, I'm going to tell you guys something. If you want to know if a basketball player is feeling it, if they look for the camera immediately after they have a string of buckets, they know that they're feeling good. I'm telling you right now. He knew exactly where the camera was.
Yeah, Chucky was feeling it. And then I want to talk about Max Klesmit, which is going to be one of my takeaways from today, but I want to give the visual aid because Max Klesmit hit some insanely clutch buckets.
Yeah, he did.
2 really, really big ones. The first one that gave the Badgers a 1-point lead, and the second one that tied the game for the Badgers. Like, this is under pressure with the shot clock going down. Those are 2 huge buckets.
Man. And, I don't want this to take away from the impact that these plays are having because Illinois is a really good team. I want you guys to understand that they have Final Four potential. Like
especially offensively.
Yeah. They have a duo that is insane. They could carry them. They really can. Honestly, they could make the national championship game. I wouldn't be surprised by that one bit.
They could. Totally could.
They could beat anybody in the country.
Yep.
So for the Badgers to hang with them and Max Klesmit to be doing it against a team of this caliber.
On one leg, basically.
Yeah. So people need to realize how good this Badgers team really is when they're clicking on all cylinders. I mean, they beat Purdue, and then to give Illinois everything that they could possibly handle.
Their fourth game in 4 days.
Right. They were they were maybe one defensive stop and one more shot away from being the Big Ten tournament champs, honestly.
Yep, I agree. All righty, we're going to break this game down in full on today's show starting at 4 o'clock Central Time, and we'll see you then.